Greetings to the 12 tribes of Yasharahla that are scattered to the four corners of the world. I am back with another video, and also greeting to those that are grafted in. Today's video, we are going to discuss what can I title this video? I think I will title it the one thing that came to my mind is this needs to stop. This needs to stop. And we're going to go into some things that we may not have known about certain practices that are done that the Most High is not pleased with. Okay, we've heard of passing our children through the fire to the idol MLK. So we're going to talk more about that today and see what all that entails. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you all is that there are many religions that worship the cow, okay? Not only in Hindu, but many religions around the world. Actually the Canaanites, the Philistines and different nations served, the cow as their power. And that's also where we get the term holy cow from. Okay. So this is in Hindu, they believe that that there are many powers all in one cow. There may be 300 different powers that dwell in one cow. But I want to I want you all to pay attention more so with this name, vacca. That means cow in Latin, the word vacca. That means cow in Latin. And then these two, this goddess here and this god here are both related to, well, both represent the cow. It has the cow horns and it has the sun shining in between. Okay, so this is this particular goddess. Her name is Hathor. She's an ancient Egyptian goddess. And one of the things that I wanted to point out about her is that she basically, when you read about her, you'll see that she's all about that Trinity. She is symbolic of the mother of that, earthly Trinity. She is the mother or concierge of the sky, Godhorus. And it says here, she was one of several goddesses who acted as the eye of Ra. So we know, they like to call us ISRA and EL, but that Trinity has nothing to do with us. That Trinity are the powers of our enemies and always have been. We are Yasharahla. We are called to walk upright. That is what our name means. As our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, were called to walk upright. They are the patriarchs of the Melchizedek priesthood. that was passed down from Adam. And so right here it says, in Egypt, she was one of the deities commonly invoked in private prayers and votive offerings, particularly by women desiring children. She is the queen of heaven, but she is also known as a goddess of fertility. That's where Easter comes from. Basically, this is nothing but the same, one of the many names of Lady Liberty, or Columbia, the district of DC. She is her district. Well, that's what they say. But when women desiring children pray to her, she's the goddess of fertility. And that's why Easter is all about eggs, which represents fertility, as well as bunnies. We know that, bunnies can get pregnant and have a litter every 6 weeks, it seems like. And then it says here that she also is associated with Isis, and we know that that's another name for let me move this down here. We know that that's another name for Lady Liberty. So once again, excuse me, here she is as the cow deity. And it's Hesat, and an ancient Egyptian goddess in form of a cow. Okay, and it says that she, once again, is closely linked with the goddess Isis, who is the same as Lady Liberty, and all her other names. Okay, in Egyptian mythology, okay, she is one of the main cattle deities, as she is the mother of Horus and Ra, and closely associated with the role of royalty and kingship. All right, so she is portrayed as a white cow here, representing purity, and the milk that she produces gives life to humanity. So, now that I'm thinking about it, just going back to how most of us are lactose intolerant and shouldn't even be drinking cow's milk, and we're the only we're the only species that drinks another species milk. And so should we really be even drinking milk? Because that is linked to her. But once again, she is the eye of Horus or Ra. All right. So this is just, it says old European culture, but I wanted to point out here where it says this heavenly mother goddess is often represented as a cow. So this is no more than worshiping Lady Liberty. I think I'm going to make a video eventually on different pagan symbols that we see every day. Like this is the symbol for Tammuz or Ra. So this is also a symbol. But when we think about when we like to go to the store that has the red, it's Target. This is their symbol. And then the star, the other Walmart has the satanic star as their symbol. All right, here she is again, but I wanted to go down. I think I highlighted, there it is, where it says the bull is a symbol of summer, summer which starts in Taurus and lasts until Leo. This is what these bulls represented. And now that we know that summer starts during the wild cattle calving period, it's no surprise that this deity, through her female deity, so this cow deity, and through her female deity, the other name, were linked to the mothers of the holy bulls. This is also one of the reasons why she carries the sun disk between her horns, because I don't even know if I should be saying these, horoscope names, but the bull horoscope in Latin, more correctly, vacca, vacca, which means cow in Latin, marks the beginning of summer. So Taurus, which is the bull, it literally means vacca, and it brings summer in between his or her horns. Okay, and we see the deity there. So guys, all I did was Google, because I started thinking about it, and I'm like, this makes me think of the beast of Revelation, or like the whore of Babylon. And so I just Googled like whore of Babylon image. And this is one image that came up, and I found that extremely interesting, that a cow, this is a cow, and look, with the horns, and then look at this ray, or this sun depicted between the horns. So this is a representation of her. But you see, it said her or his, because we also know that there's a male cow that our forefathers got in trouble with worshiping while Moses was up getting the law up on top of the mountain. All right, so this is another, when I just Googled whore of Babylon, this is another image of this cow with horns. It looks like it's in a palace. But take a look at this. This is literally, I guess, this is literally a whore. Well, this is a topless woman that's riding on top of a bull. So she would be a representation. And then here's another image of a bull with a woman riding on top, and she's riding it backwards. So she would be another representation. And then we know that this bull, who is the power of like prosperity and finance, this is the golden calf that is built, that is outside of the financial district in New York, like where the Twin Towers were, and the banking area where the World Trade is. This tower is out. I mean, I'm sorry. This we now have the One World Freedom Tower, but this image is outside of it. And this is the same golden calf that goes all the way back to Exodus, that we were building as our power and worshiping. So I found this was just an image of people having like a block party in Brooklyn, and they built this big golden bull or calf to as a pinata. It was a pinata stuffed with what? Money. And everyone got to take a whack at it until all the money came out. And once again, we know that this cow represents fertility, it represents prosperity, you know, it represents wealth. Okay. So this made me think about when I know I've never done this, but you know, females riding the bull, especially when you go to, I guess, a more southern or country bar, and they have the bulls, you know, they have the little mechanical bulls inside that you can pay to ride. But once again, it's a representation of the whore riding the bull. But people are just doing it for fun, not even realizing what they're participating in. Okay, so now let's go and we are going to, I'm going to, for the sake of censoring, I'm going to try my best to skip over some words. But this is from the WHO, the World Health Organization, and it's discussing the history of injections. So Dr. Edward Jenner created the world's first successful, and he found out that people infected with cowpox were immune to smallpox. So it says here, in May of 1796, English physician Edward Jenner expands on his discovery and inoculates 8-year-old James Phipps with matter collected from a smallpox sore on the hand of a milkmaid, and despite suffering a local reaction and feeling unwell for several days, Phipps made a full recovery. 2 months later, in July of 1796, Jenner inoculates Phipps with matter from human smallpox sore in order to test Phipps' resistance. Phipps remains in perfect health and becomes the first human to be inoculated against smallpox. The term vaccine is later coined, taken from the Latin word for cow, vacca. So we see that all we have to do is drop that A and add an I-N-E, and we see that that is where that word even derives from. Okay, so then it says read more about the history of you know, the smallpox or whatnot. But I'll just link these things below. So now I'm going to get into the new way that a lot of our a lot of medicines are being made with a new type of technology. So let's read about this. This is for educational purposes only. We're just going to read from Encyclopedia Britannica, as well as this here says from Wikipedia. So there's a new technology called recombinant DNA that is now in a lot of the vaccines. So it says recombinant DNA molecules are DNA molecules formed by laboratory methods of genetic recombination that bring together genetic material from multiple sources, creating sequences that would not otherwise be found in the genome. So they're able to penetrate our genomes and put genetic sequences in there that will not otherwise be found in the genomes of our DNA. Allegedly. Okay, and let's see what Encyclopedia Britannica says. So I'm just going to read what it says here about recombinant DNA. And I actually learned about this a couple of years ago. I wanted to teach a certain area, and I was told based on my certifications that I needed to take more science courses. Like I needed a few more science courses and a lab to before I can, I guess, be considered not, I guess, an expert or whatnot. So anyway, I learned about this in some of the science classes that I took, and then so lo and behold, when something began to happen around 2019, 2020, and I started seeing that name, I was like, wait, hold up. You know, I just learned about this in those science classes that I had to take. So it was really, really alarming. Okay, so recombinant DNA are molecules of DNA from two different species. Once again, let's read that again. Recombinant DNA are molecules of DNA from two different species that are inserted into a host organism to produce a new genetic combination that are the value to science, medicine, agriculture, and industry. Since the focus of all genetics is the gene, the fundamental goal of laboratory geneticists is to isolate, characterize, and manipulate the genes. Although it is relatively easy to isolate a sample of DNA from a collection of cells, finding a specific gene within the DNA can be compared to finding a needle in a haystack. Consider the fact that each human cell contains approximately 2 meters or 6 feet of DNA. Therefore, a small tissue sample will contain many kilometers of DNA. However, recombinant DNA technology has made it possible to isolate one gene or any other segment of the DNA, enabling researchers to determine its nucleotide sequence, to study its transcripts, to mutate it in highly specific ways, and to reinsert the modified sequence into a living organism. All right, and once again, let's go back to where it says this is being used as value to science, in medicine, in agriculture, and in industry. So here's another example, and I talked about this in a previous video, but this is where you have a gene here. All right, you have DNA. So basically through this particular technology called CRISPR technology is able to cut and manipulate the gene and then remove a natural piece, insert a synthetic piece, and now it's created a new strand here. And you take a look here, you'll see where it says DNA insert. So let's say it was snipped here, snipped there. The green, which is the original, the green piece was removed. This red piece was inserted, and then this this red starts to work its way all the way around the strand, and now it's a new strand. Now it's totally blue. All right, let's keep going. So I wanted to show you all, this is the hepatitis that is given to children at 0 to 1 month and 6 months of age based on the schedule, the schedule that it should be administered or whatnot. But this is called Recum vax. The name of this particular medicine is Recumvax. So we have from the recombinant DNA is the base of the name. This is given to children that are born at like we said, one day old. Okay, so it's letting us know that it has that in it, which basically is the RNA, the modified RNA. All right. So now this one is the measles, mumps, and rubella that's also given to infants at a few months, and then again at 16 months. And I just Googled what are the ingredients in the measles, mumps, and rubella. And it says here, ingredients: weakened forms of the measles, mumps, and rubella viruses, and active ingredients such as sorbitol, sucralose, hydrolyzed gelatin. So we know that gelatin is made from pig's cartilage, ground up pig's cartilage. That's what makes it like sticky. So for whatever reason, that needs to be thrown in the pot and inserted into our children. And then recombinant human albumin, trace amounts of fetal bovine serum. So we know that many of these inoculations have aborted fetal tissues in them. And then just other buff and media ingredients, other buffers and media ingredients. But this right here, the recombinant human albumin, and then, fetal serum, and then hydrolyzed gelatin, it's very interesting. It's very interesting that our body needs that, or that the body of the youth need it. All right, and this is the meningitis, the bacterial meningitis. I know they were saying, like, if your child is 15 or 16 years old, and even if they've if they've had a meningitis in the past, they need to come get the new one. And we see that these recombinant proteins are available, okay, for the ones that are given to they're given, it says 2 doses. They're given, it says to people at 23. I'm sorry, from 16 years old to 23. And then I also saw something that said 12 months after they get it, that they should come and get a boost as well. Let me see if that was one of these. See, well, I just want to show you this. This is the measles, the MMR. It says a small amount of gelatin from pigs. So automatically, something abominable that we're not even supposed to eat is being injected in, our temples. Not only are we not supposed to eat it, we're not even allowed to touch it. Even if it's dead, we can't touch the carcass, because it's that filthy to the Most High. I'll try to link some of this. This is just what I was going to. So this is what I'm saying all this to say. I'm trying to tie it all in, that sacrificing, passing your child through the fire, or sacrificing your child to the cow, God MLK, is more than what we think about stretching our children out on the altar, raising a knife, and sacrificing them that way. The many scriptures that I've been reading, it's like the Most High just opened my eyes, where this is what we were doing that He was not pleased with. This is a part of passing your children through the fire. It wasn't just like what we in our mind, the image of when we think of a child sacrifice is. These children are in line with this nun here and this person here. These children are in line to be sacrificed to MLK. And the Most High said, I never told you to do that, neither had it ever came to my mind to tell you to do something like that. And then we know that sorcerers, let me stop sharing for 1 second. We know that like witches and sorcerers, they brew everything in a pot. They just throw whatever in a pot and brew it all up, and you see where it's just like all of these things, all of these ingredients are just being thrown in a pot and put in a serum, and um and then given to the people for the sake of trying to prevent this from being removed. I'm just trying to be careful with my words, but as I stated, everything is allegedly and for educational purposes only. All right, so I want to read this to you all as well. In the book of Enoch, chapter 69, it talks about a fifth fallen um fallen fallen angel named Kasdeja, and his other name was Tamiel, and it reads and says that he is who showed the children of men all the wicked smitings of the spirits and demons, and the smitings of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away. This is another way to sacrifice your child to MLK. We see here, we see the uterus. Hold on 1 second, you all. All right, you all, and forgive me if you hear a little one in the background. Okay, or any noise, but okay. So I was saying that here is let me go back to this. We see right here where the uterus looks like a bull. The two ovaries from all the parts of our uterus, it actually looks like a bull. And so smiting the embryo while it's in utero is also a sacrifice to this particular deity. And then I want to show you this place and how Planned Parenthood, if you look at each entrance, the entrance actually looks like a temple, like entering a temple. I just pulled some certain entrances of Planned Parenthood, and you see how like this arched entrance here is just like you're entering into a temple of MLK. Here's another, you know, this first one that I showed you all. This one, this is a Planned Parenthood, and you see here, it actually has the sundial. It actually has the sundial on the side that represents the sun, God, which is the same as the bull, God, which is RA, or TAMMUZ, or ISIS, the Queen of Heaven, and all these other names. It's the same. That same representation there is right on the side of this Planned Parenthood entrance. And then here's another with you know, something over the entrance. And let's take a look at this. Then I'm gonna wrap it up. This is him. This is actually in a temple. So this is a real image of him, and he's referred to in 20 verses of the Bible. We are chastised or chastened for and scorned for continuing to pass our children through the fire to him, and offer them to him. So here's one here, an image of him, and then I just want to show you all this one. This is actually a Planned Parenthood in Northern California, in San Francisco, and look, they actually have him over the entrance of this Planned Parenthood building. He's hanging over the entrance with his wings behind him, you know, ready for those sacrifices. So guys, this has to stop. This has to stop. We have to repent. This is the same thing that the Most High has been chastening us about ever since Exodus. I don't know if these were pagan things that our forefathers picked up on. Yeah, once they started doing like the other nations, is in Ezekiel 16, Ezekiel 20. He's just constantly chastening us about passing our children through the fire and sacrificing them to this deity. So that's all I have for this video. I pray that you all have a blessed day. And I will see you in the next video, the Most High permits. Shalom.